Michelle.
Hey, Jess.
Today we are talking about finding your voice in this world, finding your finding your
Sounds so
genre,
dramatic.
finding your
Finding,
niche, your niche.
yeah.
Do you say niche or niche?
I always wondered that. That's so funny you say that. I think
One of
it's
my clients
niche.
has like niche, and I'm like, do I call it niche or niche?
I was going to ask Siri, like, how do you pronounce niche? But I have it on Do Not Disturb. So let's just
Oh,
go with it.
yeah,
Niche. Yeah.
yeah, niche. So it's finding your genre. There are so many different genres of voiceover,
Mm,
and some people's voices are perfect for, let's say, radio imaging
mm.
or narration, a certain kind of narration. There's corporate narration, there's explainer videos, there's whiteboard videos, there's, help me out, documentaries,
Commercials,
commercials, radio.
conference openers, audiobooks. Did you already say that? I don't think you did.
Nope, I did not say that.
Audiobooks, long form, e-learning. Yeah. Yeah.
Tutorials. Yeah.
hmm
So many. So how do you know what genre to start with?
I think it's like partially instinctual. You hear all these stories of people who, had a background in something, and then it kind of just morphed and naturally that was like what they were drawn to, or their voice just kind of informed what kind of worked for them. Or like instance for me, like your lack of wanting to edit long form or like your vision, my
Right.
vision stuff, right? Makes
Yeah.
me like, I'm pretty sure I'm a short form girl. Like I'm an under 2 minute girl.
Doing an audio book.
Audiobook's not my jam, And
Right.
what like, didn't we when we talked to Mike Lenz, and there was he came from didn't he talked about, like,
Pharmacy.
knowing
He
medic
owned a
right,
pharmacy. He was a
he owned a
pharmacist.
pharmacy, right, so that's a
He was
perfect
the mayor
example.
of his town.
He was the
Why
mayor of his town.
why not
Perfect
be an
example.
audiobook reader? Yeah.
Exactly. Perfect example, and also doing the e-learning, he says he can just say these words because of the medical
Oh, right.
narration. I think
There's a
Anne
lot
Gan
of nurses. There's a lot of nurses who have gone into doing medical narration because they
Mhm.
know all about those technical terms.
Yeah. So I think it's multi-tiered. I think there's many reasons that you might fall into certain things. A person I know who he's an opera singer and he got into we're going to try to get him on the show. He got into he sings. He's also a voice talent, but he sings and then he sings opera. It's a very good niche or niche, right? And then he loves that music for video games. So he got into a whole TikTok thing with that. Like anyway,
And
but
who would
he
have thought, okay, opera voice, video game, TikTok.
right. Nope. Would not have thought
Here's
that.
your magic.
Yep, yep. And I have another friend
What is that?
who was an actor and voice talent, and she started in the acting, started doing these like historical women, one woman shows, Eleanor Roosevelt, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Amelia Earhart, like all these important women in history, and she portrays them. And she does these shows. I've seen her live. Again, she's someone else we're gonna have on the show, but she is amazing and she's a voice talent, but she's an actor, but she kind of has fallen into this thing and it's really successful and she goes all over the world in all of the show. The point is there are live shows that have a voiceover component. I've done a voiceover for like a movie, like a major movie that was like a phone, someone on the phone where you could hear the
Mhm.
voice, but you couldn't see the person, right? Like
Yeah.
stuff like that. The voiceover is like all over the place, but and it's in places you don't even think about, like the turnstile at the train, right? Like the announcement on the trains or on the buses or, so many things. But yeah, and obviously we all like I know you and I both work in like multiple genres and stuff, but like, I would say there's some ones I do a little fringe things for, but for the most part
Have
I
our
do.
bread and
Yeah,
butter.
right, right.
So
Yeah,
tell me what is your bread and butter? What is
yeah.
something that you just
Short, under 2 minute videos, explainer video, mostly commercial and short form explainer videos or like corporate videos, but also like more like the cinematic style ones are the ones I get chosen for more like the telling the story of whatever it is. So maybe it's a website video, but it's like done in a really cinematic way. And
lifestyle, they use one like
yeah,
lifestyle
yeah,
video.
yes,
I
and conference openers and stuff like that. What is your bread and butter?
I would say that's probably about the same, and it's my favorite is to do those explainer videos.
Yeah.
Some of them have been internal, so, um, I have to think, did I sign an NDA for that one?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah.
it was more of like internal, here's where our sales thing is going, and this is what we're leading, and this is what we envision our company to be in the next 5
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And then there's the external corporate videos that will go,
On
on their
YouTube,
website and on their our YouTube page. And then
social channels.
sometimes, if it's shorter, then they boost those posts, but they don't want to boost others. So
Yeah.
depending on the length. Yeah, I would say explainer videos are probably my best. And I could pump those out all day. They're fun. You can engage your audience. You're explaining something. And I wouldn't say too medical, but I have done a lot of medical stuff. E-learning was huge. It was huge, and then my huge projects kind of fell off, and then other things kind of came on. So it's always kind of an ebb and flow of.
Yeah, the different ones. Yeah. But neither one of us have gone into like super long form audiobooks or anything like that,
Scared
right?
to,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, so think about if you're trying to look for genres, that first of all, like open your brain to the fact that there's a lot more than you might realize. There's I was thinking that I know we've talked about this and one other thing, audio description. Like there's so many different ones. Promo. Like I don't do any of that. Like promo, I was like, I know people who do promo and they love it. And I don't know. I've
I don't
never,
know that I want to be tied down to that. I know they get paid really well, or they
yes.
can get paid really well because they're like, okay, this is gonna air tomorrow. We need you to be
Yeah.
ready to do this.
Yeah. And it's really short form,
And
which we like.
and we didn't mention political. We're
Political.
heading into a political campaign
Yeah,
year.
that's huge,
So
right?
there's
It's
a
coming
lot of
up. I have trouble with like I know I don't think I get chosen for political too much. I don't know. Maybe that's because my heart's not in it. Um, I don't know. But and it's like, isn't it like you're supposed to kind of pick a side or whatever? That's one of the
you
things.
can't, yeah. I know some people who are like, okay, I will voice for a Democrat or I will
Yeah.
voice for a Republican.
Yeah.
I've I've done a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Kind of toe the line there
Yeah.
somehow, but it's more of I'd rather do like positive things. I have done
Right. Well,
like
that's the problem is it gets,
negative
yeah.
things, and I'm like, I don't
That's
know if I
where I think,
wanna.
yeah, that's where I think I shy away from it because it gets to like either way, it's a bullying thing. And I don't like, I feel like
Yeah,
I don't want
you
to,
don't want it to be divisive.
yeah. So it's hard. But yeah, political, a lot of people like that's their bread and butter. And that's like their season where they, for whatever reason, their voice really hits. So to find your genre, if you're not sure, maybe see what you get the most hits with. Maybe see
Yeah.
what you get booked, look at your, or I don't know, maybe you're new and you're not booking yet and you're not sure still, but maybe, so if you are booking or whatever, see what you book the most, right? And
Mhm.
kind of like, that'll kind of determine, unless you
I'm
have a
gonna
love and oh, I want to do this, what were you going to
I'm gonna
say?
jump into that. I had
Yeah.
someone say, okay, go back and look at all the different things that you've done and just write out, okay, this was explainer, this was e-learning, and then figure out what you've done most of. And I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, I already know, but I'm gonna do this. I'm
Well,
gonna do this
yeah.
anyway, and we'll just see. And I looked and
Interesting.
I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize I did so many of those. And I don't remember what it
Oh,
was,
you don't
but
remember which one it was? That's
I just
interesting.
not at the top of my head. But I remember going, oh, that actually was a really good exercise to see.
Interesting. Yeah.
Didn't realize I did so many of
Well,
those.
I mean, and maybe it'll surprise you, like you said, like you were like, oh,
Yeah,
um,
data
yeah.
talk.
Hmm. Yeah, so that's a good idea. So see what you do the most of, and then if you're new to it and you're not really booking yet, maybe see what really speaks to you. See the thing that when you're doing it, you're like, I love doing
It
this, or
sparks joy.
versus I'm getting through this, right? Like for
Right.
me, medical narration, I've done a few. I don't want to do them very much. I can get through them. It's not where I want to be. Sometimes I'd rather have a root canal. So, you know.
I'm assuming too, you probably are at the point when a script comes in and says, "Hey, Michelle, we would love to have you read for this." You can look at it and go, "Yeah, no."
So, yeah, yes, but also, it's also like I want to be fair to the client, like
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
I can do ones with a little bit of medical narration, but like when it's like full on the, whatever, I think I've said to you, I've given other people's names. I've been like, you know what, this person
Yeah.
is amazing. And, some of those people that I've given names, they have gone on to like work regularly. Like there's a local client, that's pretty much all they do. And I've sent two people to them and they still work with them. And this is like 10 years ago, I sent
Oh,
them to
that's
them
amazing.
and
Yeah.
they still are working with them. So like, I feel good that I was able to not only help
that
a
connection.
colleague and friend, but help this place to give them somebody who's quality in that particular department. So, and you hope that comes back to you and somebody gives someone else what you're good at, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Right. It's like it's getting to know yourself and really, kind of sitting in with yourself and getting to know you and your likes, your dislikes, what you book, what feels good to your like. I loved that was so amazing. I loved doing that.
Yeah.
Like you and I both love the cinematic and being able to see it all come together and just
Lifestyle
like we love
videos
that so
are,
much. Yeah. Yeah.
you can
I
bring
see.
that
I don't
in.
even, that's the word. I never think of the word. I'm always like, it's the cinematic corporate thing and your lifestyle, right? That you're right.
I mean,
It's
I
more,
think
no, that's
and that's
probably
the
right.
thing is there's all these different genres that will pop up because lifestyle videos, I don't think that they were really a thing not too long ago. It was
Interesting.
more like in the corporate video umbrella, but then it kind of started to blossom more and then, well, that
Well,
kind
they
of
were a little softer. They weren't
oh,
so corporate. They were
yeah.
more, yeah.
It's
I
not like a
also
hard sell. Like we're not trying to sell a product. We're trying to sell basically the
feel.
lifestyle brand
Yeah. Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
people who wear Wrangler jeans
Right.
do this.
Yes.
People who drive Jeeps look and do this, so they're not like, buy my Jeep at,
Yep.
3.9 on APR.
Right, right. No, it's like you wanna, "Oh, I wanna be like them." Right. I definitely it's funny you did that. I've done a couple, ones for Wrangler, and I actually did one for, this tequila, and I don't drink at all, but it's, a very high-end tequila, and the whole, ad is these people that look, like, way cooler than I could ever be, like, and they're on the beach, and they're all, like, in these great clothes, and they're like it's a whole, like, friends group, and they're just cool, like you're like, "Oh, those guys are cool," and they're at the beach and they're just hanging out by the campfire and they're dancing and whatever. And I'm like, "Oh, that's because they're drinking this tequila. I
So
gotta
what
drink
was
tequila."
was it supposed to be like a natural thing or was it more of a sarcastic kind of fun?
No, it was a real, like, these people are actually, I put it on my
Okay.
sampler of like my cool sound because it was like, some people do, yeah, some people live life like on the edge or whatever, like they like live this life. It was like lifestyle. It's like, oh, you're selling this
You're
like
selling this
image.
lifestyle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're selling this lifestyle, and that's what is going to make you buy this brand. So it's a way to sell it without selling it. So I guess it's like an indirect sell or whatever. But yeah, so that's like, it's just knowing
I
what,
was gonna
yeah.
knowing what each genre, like what is the ultimate purpose of this particular genre, right? If you're doing commercial, it's gonna sound a little bit different, and the purpose is gonna be more maybe direct than a lifestyle video. It's gonna be a different
Mm,
approach to
more
the
subtle, maybe with the lifestyle. Maybe it's more subtle, like because we're not trying to like subtle in the sense of like
you're not trying to
you're
sell it,
no, you're not trying to sell the
you're
product. You're trying to
storytelling.
sell
You're
it
storytelling.
in a it's like you're trying to not sell, but trying to like entice people to want to be like in this,
This is
lifestyle or
a
whatever.
better version of yourself.
There you go. It sounds so awful. Like we're trying to, reel you in, but like, it's more like, yeah, I think, and
Oh,
I
no, I
like
love
that
that.
more versus like, I don't even think they do a lot of the like hard sell these days, but like, it's just so hard to do that kind, it's just like, what I mean? The ones that are like sped up and they have to fit in the perfect thing. And they're
Uh-huh.
like, I just like, yeah, it's not my favorite, but, yeah, but like, you
But you
just
can
know
do it,
I can,
right? You can
yeah.
do it
uh,
because you're versatile, but as you
Do you love it? No. Yeah. Yeah. Whenever someone's like, this has to fit and they've done way too many words, but it's got to fit in this thing, I'm just like, ugh, whereas
I
someone where they come to you and they're like, there's like 12 words and it's like a minute.
take your time or, like, take your
Yes.
time going
I'm like,
through this.
oh, I love that. That's my
Yeah,
favorite.
and then other ones, they give you 150 words, and that's usually 150 words is about 1 minute,
Mm.
and so they're like, "150 words, gotta be 30 seconds." It's like,
Yeah. And you're like, this isn't going to sound
"Do
good.
you have any idea how fast I need to talk?" And then they
Right.
listen to it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, let me take out these 4 words
That'll help.
and then give it back to you, now do 30 seconds."
Yeah.
Mm.
I have a company that I do a lot of that stuff for, and I know that afterwards their post people speed it up because there's no way. I'm
Have
like,
to,
this is
yeah,
what I got your 60-second in like 70 seconds. Good luck
yeah.
with that.
You can do
I
that.
talked
You
as
can
fast as I
push
could,
it and make it try to sound, but even the pitch of your voice just gonna start sounding like
Yeah, it's anyway, there's a way. There's ways. There's good
Sure.
editors can do that. But yeah, but again, that's not my favorite, but I do it, you know. So, yeah. So, finding your genre, just look inward and look outward at what you book and what you like and what you enjoy. Like getting to know yourself will help you get to know your genre,
You're
right?
not gonna know until you try it. So
Yeah.
see where things lead because you have no idea.
You could be amazing in something that you didn't even know was a thing. So, be open. That's the message.